guys, so today's video I know is going to be a little bit of a touchy subject. So right off in this video, before we, get into it, I just want to state first and foremost that in this video, I want everyone to know that I'm not harassing a group of people in any way. I'm not trying to attack a certain group of people in any way, shape, or form in this video. That's not what I'm here to do. I don't have anything against any group of people. I am just here to speak for animals that can't speak for themselves. That's my job. I'm just here to speak for the animals that don't have a choice in any situation. The animals, at the end of the day, don't care what group of people they're in, don't know what group of people you're in. The animals, at the end of the day, all they care about is being safe, being healthy, and making sure that humans are going to take care of them. They care about this being their last day or not their last day. They care about not getting hurt. They care about trusting their riders because in the end, they're forced to do everything we make them do. So I just want to disclaim that because I'm not here to speak for any group of people. I'm just here to speak for the animals because the animals don't care what group of people we're in. So I just wanted to disclaim that because I have talked about this group of people in a previous video that you guys might have seen. So let's get into it. So this race is nothing new in the equine industry. I've not talked about it on my channel before, but I figured for any of you new viewers or you young viewers that might not know what it is, to talk about it and get it out there because I don't understand how this race is still legal. And it's really annoying to me constantly having people defend events and races and things we make our horses do that are insanely dangerous, have caused horses to die, have caused horses to severely injure themselves, and overall is an extremely abusive and negligent sport. So that's where I'm at with this. And so if you haven't heard of this, it's called the Omak suicide race. And just from the title, that doesn't sound like a little fun prancy-dancy race, right? So this race is called the deadliest horse race in the world. And what kind of is just questioning to me is that this town in Washington, I think it's called Omak, is so proud of that. They're like, we have the deadliest horse race in the world right here in Washington. And so, to me, that just says deadliest horse race in the world. Sounds like something people shouldn't be doing or shouldn't be allowed to do. So each year, midsummer, a small town in eastern Washington called Omak proudly promotes an event named the world-famous suicide race. The town officials claim that this event is a celebration of history and tradition. In reality, it's murder on horses. The race seriously injures riders and routinely kills horses. Over a span of 4 days and nights, riders repeatedly run their horses off Suicide Hill with a 120-foot galloping start. The horses blindly plunge more than 210 feet down a slope that the event organizers often boast as almost vertical, 62-degree angle. At breakneck speed, the horses then meet the Okanogan River. Entry to the river is narrow, causing bottlenecks and horrendous multiple horse spill. If a rider and horse do make it, they face a treacherous and often panicked swim about the length of a football field. The final grueling sprint is a 500-foot uphill climb to the finish line. Oh my God. Many horses on loan for the event have suffered heart attacks from overexertion, broken bones from shocking collisions and tumbles, and even horrifying death by drowning. It's unclear how many horses and people have died in the race since its inception in 1935. Since 1983, at least 22 horses' deaths have been documented. In 2004, 3 horses were killed in the first heat alone. So why is this like still okay to do and still legal? My problem with this is, like I said in one of my last videos about the Havasu horses, it seems that when it comes to Native American things, because this race takes place at a Native American festival, that's why that's the celebration of history, is this town, I guess, is a Native American type of, I don't know if it's a reservation or not, but that's, you know, their history. And I don't have anything against Native Americans. I honestly think they're treated like complete in this country most of the time. But when it comes to animals being forced to their death, like, that is 100% not okay. I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's tradition. Tradition means absolutely nothing to me. Tradition means 0 to me. Like, I don't care what's tradition anymore. The problem with our country and in the animal industry is that everyone thinks that if it's tradition, it's okay. And that's completely false. Using bits on horses, using whips on horses, all of that's tradition. We've been doing that for hundreds of years. That's a traditional way to train a horse. Does that make it okay? Does that make bits nice and soft and gentle? No, it doesn't. So why is it okay for, like, Native Americans to abuse and neglect and treat their animals like absolute dogs just because it's their tradition? Like, I'm all for Native Americans keeping their traditions on the reservations and stuff like that, but when it comes to forcing animals and beings who can't speak for themselves, that are forced to do these things, to kill themselves, to injure themselves, to drown, that's not fucking okay. That's selfish, that's arrogant, that's stupidity. Like, what are you trying to achieve here? How badass, how cowboy you are because you can run your horse down a to kill itself? What is wrong with you? Like, I don't care if that's tradition or not. That is not freaking okay. Isn't there a law against harming horses in this way? Which is a frequently asked question. Yes, but not for the horses of the suicide race. Washington law prohibits the injury or deaths of animals for amusement or gain. And the description of animal cruelty is 1. A person is guilty of animal cruelty in the first degree when, except as authorized in law, he or she is intentionally inflicts substantial pain on, causes physical injury to, or kills an animal by a means causing undue suffering, or forces a minor to inflict unnecessary pain, injury, or death on an animal. Unfortunately, another law has been used to exempt the horses who run in the suicide race under the clause of normal and usual course of rodeo events. Oddly, though, there is no other rodeo in Washington state or in the U.S. as a whole that features a similar event to the Omak suicide race. And the Professional Rodeo Cowboy Association has stated that they don't even consider this kind of event to be a part of rodeos as part of a rodeo's it sanctions. Are you kidding me? That's where 90% of animal cruelty comes from. A person is guilty of animal cruelty in the first degree when, except as authorized in law, he or she is intentionally inflicts pain, causes physical injury to, or kills an animal by a means causing undue suffering, or forces a minor to inflict unnecessary pain, injury, or death on an animal. So you're telling me this race is an unnecessary injury or death to these animals? There's no reason we need to keep doing this race, okay? This race is for fun. It's to show off how cowboy these people are, that they can run their horse off a cliff, okay? Another question asked is, why do so many horses die? Horses die from collisions, overexertion, and drowning. Broken bones resulting from collisions and mass pileups on Suicide Hill cause a vast majority of deaths. The path starts out wide, but due to its steep angle and the fact that the race is often run in the dark, horses are not able to see that it narrows and approaches the Okanogan River, creating a bottleneck. Because of the angle of the hill, the depth of the sand on the hill, and the speed the horses are being thrown down it, they're not able to stop. So in one of these videos, I'll see if I can find it, but you can see the horses running down the hill and their legs literally sinking this deep into the dirt or sand or whatever it is on the hill. Other times, one horse will lose its footing and begin a series of head-over-heel somersaults down the hill. Other horses trip over or are hit by falling horses, causing a mass spill. Additional horses have broken bones on the rocks lining the bed of the Okanogan River and have drowned in it. These incidents have been well documented over the years. Some people say that horses actually like running down the hill. Why would they do it if they didn't? You know, the people saying that are the people who want to keep the race. The people that actually probably run in it. Horses are herd animals and therefore they follow the herd. I agree with that. They see all these other horses running, so why wouldn't they run with the herd, right? That makes sense. What they don't understand is the horse doesn't have a choice. The horses, you can see in the videos, are being whipped the entire way down the hill. They're being whipped all the way across the river. Why do people go to the Stampede? One of the main reasons people attend the Stampede is it's a spectacular Indian encampment and powwow as a traditional gathering, featuring a teepee village, dancing, drumming, and stick games. That's great and all. I'm not saying get rid of this festival. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be allowed to celebrate and whatever. Do their thing. That's great. But why are they allowed to, keep these events that are literal animal torture? I don't care where it is or what it is or whatever. It shouldn't be okay because in the end, these horses don't have a choice. Why should us humans be allowed to use other beings for our own selfish reasons and literally force them to plummet to their frickin' death down a hill or drowned in a river? That's not okay anywhere else. America is better than that. We should know better than that, okay? Okay, so this article says that a spokesman for the suicide race owners and jockeys says, a horse is a part of our native community. We've lost a total of 24 horses in 80 years. It's just like a person. You lose a part of your family. Would you take a person out of your family and chuck them down a freaking cliff into water? No, you would not. Don't even play that bull crap. Okay, that is bull crap. You don't give a shit about your horses if you're making them do this kind of crap. Alright, that's all the article reading I'm going to do for this video, but in hindsight, just what part of any of this makes this okay? There is absolutely no reason you can tell me that is a valid argument to why this race should be kept in place, why this should be allowed, because none of it is going to convince me. These horses are literally forced to their death. And if they don't die, they probably suffer or they break bones, they get stampeded by other falling horses, they probably suffer major injuries, and some of them probably get put down in the end anyway because of breaking legs and breaking ribs and probably breaking their necks and all kinds of stuff rolling down the frickin' hill into the water, where if a horse is breaking their legs or broke their neck or something rolling down the hill into the water, they probably end up drowning in the water anyways. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? Why are people still supporting this anyways? I get the whole, tradition thing. I get the whole festival to celebrate history. But I would even go to that. But there's no way in hell that I would go to this race. I would never support this race. Why does anybody go to this? Why is it amusing to people to see horses tumbling down hills to their death? Why is it amusing to people to see horses drowning in a river? So I don't even know what else to say because my mind is just all over at this point. I'm sure you guys have made your own opinion, and I just think I just think this should just not be allowed. And I know, like, with the whole Native American things, it's tricky and it's tough because 90% of the time, or like, I don't even, probably more than that, the government of the U.S. can't do anything about it because the Native Americans are protected so much that they can hardly really do anything about their traditions and what they do, which I totally understand. And I'm not saying in this video that they shouldn't be allowed to celebrate their history or they shouldn't be allowed to have a festival. I'm just saying they shouldn't be allowed to do this race. There's no way anyone, I don't care who you are, anybody should be allowed to do this race. And horses should not be forced to do it. So that's something people don't understand. And I think that's a lot of times what public people don't understand, who aren't equestrians, who aren't animal lovers, is they see all these horses running down the hill and they just think the horses are having fun and they like it. And no, like, people don't understand that horses don't have a choice. Like, there are some people that are so abusive towards their horses, you can whip them and spur them and pull on their mouth all you want, and the horse is just going to do it. They're just going to give in. Horses are innocent animals, and they're not going to fight back. I'm tired of people taking advantage of them because they don't have a heart. Because most of the time, the horse doesn't know how dangerous he can really be. And they're not going to fight the human. It's like, it's just too much. Like, this crosses the line. Like, so I will leave all the articles I read off down below if you guys want to go read them and look at them and whatnot. But I feel like we should all be aware, especially in the horse community, of these types of events that just shouldn't be allowed in general, shouldn't be okay. And honestly, people who participate in this type of stuff, who end up killing their animals, putting down their animals, drowning their animals, in my opinion, should suffer great fines for that, because that is the classic example of animal abuse and cruelty, in my opinion. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what else you guys want to see down below, and make sure to check out the subscription box, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!